In the quiet hours before dawn, when the village streets were still wrapped in silence, Margaret stood in her flour-dusted kitchen and gently reminded her grandson Tom that the bakery would not open for another hour, though she could already see the weight of worry sitting heavy behind his tired eyes. Tom confessed that sleep had eluded him all night, for he had spent those dark hours poring over the bakery's accounts again and again, hoping the numbers would somehow change, but they told the same grim story every time he looked. With quiet confidence, Margaret reminded him that this very bakery had survived his grandfather's passing, had weathered 2 harsh recessions, and even endured a leaking roof one bitter winter, insisting that whatever trouble had come now would surely pass just the same. But Tom pressed on, explaining that the bakery had only survived because people once traveled from 3 villages over just to taste her legendary bread, and now, with the future slipping away, he begged her once more to finally teach him the secret recipe that had kept them alive for so long. Margaret's answer came sharp and immediate, a firm refusal that echoed through the kitchen, for this was not the first time her grandson had asked, and it would clearly not be the last, though her voice carried more sorrow than anger. Frustrated but determined, Tom argued that he had watched her make the bread 100 times before, that surely he could help her double their production, take orders online, and expand the business, if only she would trust him with the one thing she had always kept hidden. Later that morning, as sunlight spilled gently through the shop front windows, Ellen stepped into the bakery and greeted Tom warmly, though she quickly noticed his grandmother was nowhere to be seen behind the counter that day. Tom explained quietly that Margaret was resting, admitting with concern that she had seemed more tired lately, even though she stubbornly refused to acknowledge it, brushing off every gentle suggestion that she slow down. Ellen shook her head knowingly, remarking that Margaret had never once admitted to weakness in all the years she had known her, a trait that reminded Ellen so strongly of her own late mother, who had been just as proud and just as unyielding. Curious, Tom asked whether his grandfather had ever truly known the secret recipe, and Ellen thought back carefully before answering that, as far as she could recall, Margaret always insisted the recipe was never just flour and yeast, but something deeper, something she called memory itself. Tom admitted that it sounded almost like something from a fairy tale, and Ellen simply smiled, gently reminding him that the whole village, in its own quiet way, had always run on a little bit of fairy tale magic to begin with. That evening, while searching through the dusty attic for old sales records, Tom instead stumbled upon his late grandfather's worn leather journal, and his heart raced as he carried it downstairs to show his grandmother, unaware of the storm of memory it would stir. Margaret's face fell the moment she saw the journal in his hands, and she asked sharply whether he had been going through his grandfather's private belongings, her voice trembling with a mixture of surprise and old buried grief. Tom gently explained he had only been searching for records, but had found this instead, a letter written long ago describing the very first time Margaret had baked this bread for her husband, a taste she said reminded him of her mother's kitchen back in Yorkshire. Margaret's voice cracked as she told him firmly that was enough, but Tom refused to back down, insisting softly that he was not trying to steal anything precious from her, only trying to keep it from disappearing forever. With quiet sincerity, Tom told her he simply wanted to carry this legacy forward, to carry her forward, and in that fragile moment, something in Margaret's guarded heart finally began to soften after years of holding on so tightly. The very next morning, before the sun had even risen, Margaret told Tom to come down to the kitchen, warning him gently that she would only show him this once, and that he must listen with all the care he could gather. Overjoyed and a little disbelieving, Tom promised he would be there without fail, and Margaret's stern expression softened just slightly as she turned back toward the kitchen, already preparing herself for what she was about to give away. As the first light of dawn crept through the kitchen window, Margaret began the lesson, instructing Tom that the flour must never be measured by the cup, but felt between careful fingers until it told him it was ready. Tom worked the dough nervously under her watchful eye, and when he asked if he was doing it correctly, Margaret gently corrected his hands, softening his touch, until at last she nodded and told him that was exactly right. Tom could not help but ask why she had finally changed her mind after all these years of refusing, and Margaret answered softly that she had finally come to understand the recipe was never truly hers to keep, but only ever hers to give away. With quiet emotion in his voice, Tom promised his grandmother he would never let her down, and Margaret looked at him with pride swelling in her chest, assuring him gently that she already knew he never would. That day, the bakery filled once more with warmth and the smell of fresh bread, and Ellen rushed in excitedly, declaring in amazement that the loaf in her hands tasted exactly like Margaret's, prompting Tom to proudly reveal that his grandmother herself had taught him. Ellen laughed with delight, telling them the whole village was already buzzing with talk of the bread, insisting that Tom might just save the bakery after all, while Margaret stood beside him glowing with quiet pride at what they had built together. Margaret corrected her, saying they might just save it together, and Tom turned to his grandmother with heartfelt gratitude, thanking her for trusting him, as she smiled softly and told him it was never truly about the bread at all, it had always been about him.